Hello, my name is Geoff Harris. Since my family and I first started attending West Raleigh over a decade ago, we felt a special love and welcome here. Becoming a more like congregation is important to me because I want to make sure that everyone in the LGBTQIA plus community feels that same love and knows that West Raleigh is a welcoming and affirming congregation. Becoming a more like congregation not only affirms who we are, a loving and affirming community who believes that we are created in the image of a God who is bigger than we could ever imagine. But it also signals our continued commitment to LGBTQIA plus inclusion in the church and in society.
Hello, my name is Ruth Rick. I wanted to join the More Light Task Force for a couple of reasons. First, I have a few close friends who are part of the LGBTQ community, who have had very negative experiences with the church and Christianity in general. So I wanted to make sure that our church is not a source of those kinds of negative experiences. I also saw a lack of diversity and representation in our church, and I'm hoping that by becoming a More Light congregation, we might be more diverse and welcoming. The last reason I joined was because I noticed there weren't any other youth on the committee, and I thought it was important to have at least one youth member.
Hi, my name is Marsha Adkins. The LGBTQIA plus community is very close to my heart. Like many issues we come across in life, initially we don't necessarily understand the full complement of what the topic is. Often we do not know what we do not know. A member of our family gave us a reason to open our minds further, though. Haven't we heard it all a million times? We're all the same under the skin. We're all just people. We all put our pants on one leg at a time. There's no difference between us and someone else, and so on. Not everyone finds that place in their heart and in their thinking that makes them know that we are, in fact, all generally the same. God loves us all, period. I am part of this group to learn the hearts of other people, their thoughts, and be with them to share my perspectives as well. It is an honor to be part of this love and understanding of God that is moving us forward to be a more like congregation.
Hi, everybody. I'm John Baker. There's so many good and loving people in this world who are ostracized only because their sexual orientation is different from what is perceived as mainstream. This can be extremely hurtful, and it's simply wrong. We're all children of God, no matter what our sexual orientation. I remember years ago when Jack Cover, a former West Raleigh member who has since passed away, went on a mission to change these things for the better. One of his goals was for West Raleigh to join the More Light Churches Network, which is what it was called at the time. West Raleigh was not fully ready for this step at that time, but Jack woke us up by shining a bright light on the issue, and he was persistent. Since that time, West Raleigh has become more aware and supportive of these issues. I believe our next step is to officially become a More Light congregation, and everything that means for the support of our LGBTQIA plus sisters and brothers. The time has come. And as a member of the task force, I hope to be a part of this. Jack might say, "What took so long?" But he will certainly be smiling.
My name is Laura Bulluck. I'm married to Russ Bulluck. We are parents to two college-age boys, Russell and James. We joined West Raleigh in 2011. I've cared about LGBTQ people since I was very young. I had a beloved uncle who embodied so many amazing qualities. My uncle came out to my family when I was about 10 years old. My uncle was kind, selfless, and so brave. He dealt with discrimination, threats, violence, and rejection from his church. When people made disparaging remarks or used gay slurs, it was always personal to me because of him. I felt the unfairness and experienced how impossible it seemed at that time to change people's minds. In high school, I had close friends who came out as gay, and I saw the and felt the pain they experienced dealing with parents, grandparents, and friends who were not ready and equipped to deal with the changes. I had friends who thought about suicide and worried that I would lose them for something that we have no control over, something that should not matter. My uncle passed away in 1996 from complications of AIDS. Shortly before he passed away, the Episcopalian Church amended the church canon to prevent discrimination based on sexual orientation, among other things. This change meant my uncle was able to receive last rites and a church burial. I saw firsthand how much this meant to him and how critical it was to him for him to be able to pass with peace. At that time, I thought the change would spread quickly. It's been 24 years. More recently, my son Russell came out to our family, and I felt the fears of what he might experience in the world. He mentioned that students in a club he joined in college said that they weren't welcome in church because churches don't care about gay people. He was confused because he had always felt welcome at West Raleigh. The world has changed a lot since my uncle passed away, but there's so much more change needed. I want to help. I want the love and welcome my family feels at West Raleigh to be available to everyone. I want our message of love to reach the students who think churches don't care about gay people. I want our message to reach people who are experiencing depression and thoughts of suicide because of the rejection they're experiencing. That's why I joined the More Light Task Force.
I'm Katherine Rick-Miller, the pastor of West Raleigh Presbyterian Church. And becoming a More Light congregation is important to me for several reasons also. It begins with the scriptures. In the beginning, the writer of Genesis recounts, God said, "Let us make humankind in our image, according to our likeness." I believe the church can and will only be a more full reflection of God's creative power as we move closer to including everyone, making the church a safe, welcoming, and vibrant community where everyone can find and call home. I also believe that confession has to be a part of this process. The church has not always been, nor are we always, a safe place for people who identify as LGBTQIA+ or their families. We've neglected cries for justice and chosen the absence of conflict over the way of true peace. I believe the discipline of confession will move us toward knowing better and doing better so that we can worship and serve and connect as a more whole people of God. I'm excited about becoming a More Light congregation. I'm excited to see how God will work among us, who we will come to know, and the congregation that we will become as we seek more light.